First test I'm going to try on the rear tailgate is a 4-inch abrasive pad. I'll put a link to the packs that I buy on eBay. I've got a temp gun that we're going to check. I'll do a roughly 6x6 area just to see what kind of temperature it is. Currently, it looks like it's about 85.2, 85 degrees, something about like that. I'm just going to take it all the way down to metal, and then we will measure out the same distance on this side. I'm going to try it with the DA to see how fast it comes off, see what temperature differences are, and see if we have to worry about any kind of metal warping going on using the 4-inch abrasive pad. This is just a general paint rust remover. Make sure you wear your eye protection for this stuff, and most of the time if I'm doing large panels, I'll also put a respirator on, keep all that stuff out. But for this simple of a project, I think I'll skip the respirator right now and just kind of hold my breath. Okay, so 4-inch pad is up first. Looking at between 94 and about 101. So just kind of average that out, 101 to 94. What are you, like 97? I would say that's pretty average for just a hot summer day. So I don't think it's going to build enough heat to worry about, but I will be interested to see what the DA does. I'm going to check. I should have a 120 grit on a 6-inch DA, so we'll give that a shot next. 120 grit, 6-inch DA, and it is turned up to high speed, so try to make it halfway comparable and try to remove it as much as possible, as quick as possible. This will be the same temperature differences, I'm guessing, but we'll have to find out. I marked off the amount, which was about a 6x5 square over there. Starting temperature is about 86.2, so we'll give her a bit of a shot. Not too concerned about face mask on this one since it doesn't have a 4-inch disc of, I don't know what kind of material to explode at any time. These are pretty self-contained. Dust mask might be a good idea. I'm doing a pretty small section, so it shouldn't be a problem with the door open. 97, 93 is the lowest, 97, I got a corner at 100. So it is almost exactly the same temperature. Of course, my thumb had to knock my air hose off, but I think I definitely ground on it long enough to make up for any variation by hooking the hose back up. We can try one more time just to make sure. 105, 120. Highest I saw was 120, which kind of makes sense. I did see the material actually starting to bend. That is a bad sign. If you get the deflection of the metal panel, that's going to be your problem. The only issue I'm having is that there's so many layers of paint on here that it's very difficult to get the DA to take it off quickly. You have to really stick to one section and move a lot. I'm going to try a little bit larger section with the 4-inch and kind of do the same pattern that I normally do, just to see if that makes a difference. So far, DA, you're gonna have to move around a lot, which I like immediate results. So if you got the patience to go back and forth, the DA might be the way to go. No real texture difference as far as I can tell. What I'll typically do is go and knock majority of it down with this 4-inch disc, and then come back with a DA and just pick up the light spots in between, moving back and forth quickly. I think the name of the game here is just to move across the material quick. I think the 4-inch is a little more controlled because it removes the material so fast, where the DA has to take time to rub through each layer of primer buildup, paint buildup. You know, I don't know if they put me clear on this or not, but I'll try one more patch over here off to the side, and then we'll do one more with the DA, and I'll just move the DA a little quicker and see if we can try to get a little bit closer comparison. This round I'm going to run the 6-inch patch from the top of the panel to the bottom of the panel. I'm going to use a respirator for it because I don't know what kind of paint they used. And I'm also going to use a mask because I'm using the 4-inch disc. They have a tendency to throw little pieces of the pad itself off if you catch it on an edge or something. So never get anything in your eyes. It's awful, especially metal. Once again, my highest reading is about 118, 122. 122 is the highest and about 96 was the lowest. I did actually spend a little more time on this section just to kind of hit it a little harder, make it a little more comparable, but I'm not going to do the full length just because I think it's going to take way too much video time to do with the DA. So what I'll do is just mimic this bottom panel, which is about half of it. That should be a little bit more comparable for us. So you definitely can feel a little warmth. It's not anything major, I wouldn't say. Starting temperature is 89 degrees for the DA test. Uh, 105, 110, 113. 125, 124, 135. Wow. 120. This one seems to heat the panel a lot more evenly because it's a larger pad, of course. Hard call. You can move a lot quicker with the 4-inch. It's not as finished if you do so. I don't know which one's really going to be a benefit. I guess just a combo of both would be a fitting solution. Kind of surprised about how much temperature the DA actually makes. I thought that would be a lot less buildup. But anyways, the 4-inch discs work really nice, especially on the thicker metal. Gotta be careful because it does spot heat up a little bit better, a little quicker than the DA does, just because of the surface area that you're actually working on. But that larger surface area also makes it take more time to actually eat through it. So both are good options. Works best for you is what you should probably do. The DA downfall, in my opinion, is you have to run the air compressor so much. I mean, the compressor just runs constantly. I've got a 55-gallon stand-up 2-stage, and when you're running a DA, especially full blast, you're going to be running your compressor the whole time. So something to keep in mind. But I'm going to get to actually stripping this thing, get it down, get some rust repair going on it. Hopefully it goes a little smoother. I don't see any major filler work anyways. So one thing I forgot to mention, the whole reason I started on that 4-inch disc to begin with was because the amount of body filler I ran into on this thing. It was all over every panel. Rust repair, that kind of stuff as well. As long as it's surface rust, that 4-inch disc works great. The DA does not do good when you're getting into body fillers and having to grind scale off and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. This test was done just basically on paint itself. If you're getting into high buildup of body fillers, the 4-inch is the only way to go. I actually tried a 7-inch on, I believe it was a 3M pad. It was a full black pad, and the thing was just so darn big that it labored the tool. My buffer basically died after maybe 3/4 of a pad. It just tried to bite so much off at one time that it was just too aggressive and smoked the machine. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. These discs are cheap. They last a long time. They work extremely well. That's my go-to, but that's also the situation I'm in, is everything's just exploratory surgery on this, and most of it ends up leading to finding a 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches of body filler on all the panels. So another thing to keep in mind, but this was mostly just a test to see what it does for just the average, quick strip and removing. Just a single paint, a couple layers of paint. So keep that in mind. Thanks for viewing. Take care.